So today we are going to be talking about the Lavokol A10, which is over here, and the Lavokol 6-watt light panel, which is over here. So both of which are from a company called Lavokol. So before we talk about the differences of these two lights, let's talk about the similarities of them. So the first similar thing that they share is that they have both 2000 milliamp batteries, which at max output will give you about an hour of runtime. And if you put it at its lowest setting, you can get about 12 hours, which is pretty good because it gives you the ability to either use it for a very long time with a little bit of light and a short time, but with a lot of light. So yeah, that's something to consider whenever you're using these lights. So the second same thing that they share is that they have both adjustable RGB lights. Some RGB lights don't allow you to adjust the brightness level. So it's either you get full blast or nothing at all. You can actually adjust the light intensity of RGB. So let's pretend that I want 15%, I can get 15% output. If I want 2% output, I can get 2%. That's just so cool. And now if I want 100% at full blast, I can just do that. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibilities when it comes to fine-tuning with these lights. So one more thing that these lights have in common is that they are both app controlled. You can actually download apps on your phone to control these lights, but for me, I would rather just use them as is. I don't like to fiddle around with apps because when you're shooting, you don't want to be using your smartphone because there could be a lot of distractions, and yeah, it's just not for me. Let's talk about the differences of these two lights. So first, let's talk about the A10. So in weight, this weighs about 80 grams, and this one weighs 185 grams. So you can see this is more than half the total weight of the A10. But with that being said, this light is more brighter than this light. Although they have the same battery, this light is brighter because this one, the 6-watt light panel, has 240 beads of bicolor, while this only has 40 beads of bicolor, which means you can adjust this to a higher level than this. But the good thing about this is that it has a magnet here, which allows you to stick it onto a magnetic surface. But the problem with this magnet is that it's not so strong. I tried it on my table the other day, and it was just not sticking like how I'd want it to. But there is a strength of this light though. You can see there is an RGB scale at the back. If you don't know your RGB values or you didn't memorize the RGB scale, you can actually use this as a cheat sheet, and you can gauge what number you need to be on to be able to grab that particular color that you want. And one more good thing about this is that it has built-in cold shoe mounts over here, which allows you to attach something like this. So if you wanted to add more lights to this, you can actually get something like this, which is a cold shoe adapter. All you need to do is screw it to the bottom of a light or whatever attachment you want. This can attach to this light. Screw it on. Now look, you have a bigger light than what you had. And yeah, this is very modular. You can attach as many lights as you want to the right or the left. With the RGB bulbs, this has 60 RGB bulbs and this has 24. So in plain paper, this is obviously brighter than this one. But like what I said, if you buy multiple ones like this and you attach it on the side, like one here, and one here, you can get a far brighter light with this than this. So it's up to your use case and according to what you need it for. So one more strength of the A10 is that this has a fixed cold shoe. So this is really attached to the light, so it's not going to go anywhere. This one you need to screw onto this, and then it causes a lot of problems because this can move a lot. But this one is really fixed. Once you unscrew it and screw it onto your camera, this will stay on. So let me show you really quick what it will look like. To put this on, let's say this camera, I would take this light, loosen it so you have a little gap here. I can slide it onto the camera just like so, tighten it, and now I have a very secure light on top of my camera. You can see it's really on there. Okay, so let me show you how to use this light really quick. So both of these are very similar to use. So this has 4 buttons over here, right, left, and M for mode and power. We're going to use this to demonstrate first. To switch on the light, you just press the power button for like 3 seconds. It's going to say loading and it's going to switch on. So right now it is on blue. So it's on HSI mode. So if I press M, it's going to give me an S, which means it is the saturation. So I can adjust the saturation according to how saturated I want it to be. If I press it again, it's now going to be on brightness. I can adjust the brightness according to how bright I want the light to be. If I press M again, now I'm back to H, which means I can toggle through all of the colors. And if I press power, like a quick tap, now I'm on T, which means it's the standard CCT mode, which you can adjust. For example, if you need a white bulb or white color light, you can just press that. If you press power again, now it's got on a special effect. So this is probably a blinking light, which is like lightning or something. If I press again, this is just a simple cycle. So if you were to sell this light in a shop, this is what you would use it for, to catch attention to your customers. And yeah, this is just S, which is like a siren, like an ambulance color. So yeah, there are many different modes for these lights. For this 6-watt light panel, all you need to do is just press on this right side. So remember, the USB port is over here, Type C, and this is your only toggle switch. So this is more simplistic than this. So if you are a minimalist like me, you would obviously like these tactile buttons. So this one is not just a dial, but it can be pressed as well. If you press it, you can toggle through saturation and then the brightness level and the hue color. So yeah, if you are on this mode, which has a small arrow on top, you can slowly just toggle the dial up, and then it can cycle through the different colors of this light. And if I press this again, I can go to brightness and then can lower it. And if I press that power button instead of holding it, I can go through the different modes that I told you about. Okay guys, so let's wrap up this video. So who are these lights for? So the 6-watt light panel is probably for somebody who just cares about output. If you need the light to be as bright as possible, then this light is for you. But if you are somebody who likes to do a little bit of like jimmying, you want to assemble a rig, or you want to play around with modularity, then you'd probably go with the A10, because you can assemble a far bigger light and yeah, obviously get a much higher output compared to the 6-watt if you have multiple units, if you have more than 3. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.